So thanks everyone. Hope everyone found some value in those two breakout sessions in the various rooms. Thanks to the presenters for taking the time to be our presenters within those rooms. I know I haven't sent out the previous first session slides yet, but I will send out both session slides this week when I return home. So I'll get all the slides out from the first session and the second session to all of the attendees. So just a quick update. We will be doing this all again, but in person for those who prefer the in-person learning style versus the Zoom. And of course, you're welcome to attend that session, even if you did attend the Zoom sessions. Obviously, there's much more discussion that can happen in that in-person environment than over the Zoom. And that will be on Saturday, March the 25th. We're going to go from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We'll have a lunch break in the middle there. And the details will be sent out. It will be in downtown Calgary. At the Scotia Wealth Management Office in the Brookfield Place building, parking right next door. It's really cheap to park, but I'm going to send out details for all of the attendees for that session. So without further, the one thing I did want to mention quickly to the group, because I did mention it in the president-elect room, is for those with my Rotary account, especially with the secretaries as well too, and this may have already been mentioned, so I apologize if it's a duplicate, but Rotary has an amazing brand center, which you can log on to with your My Rotary account just to get various templates, whether it's logos, PowerPoint presentations, Zoom backgrounds, letterhead, videos, pictures. There's lots of great resources when you log in with your My Rotary account into the brand center. So just for those that need to get Rotary proper logo with the new logos, but not for the year, make sure you're using the brand center for that as well on the My Rotary on the RI site. So without further ado, I want to pass it over to District Governor-elect Kurt Kowalchuk, who's going to give us a brief talk on what to look forward in the year ahead. Go ahead, Kurt.
Thank you, Rob. So most Rotarians have a story or two. These are stories that we really need to share. Today, I'm going to share one of my Rotary stories. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, actually the story starts right here in Calgary, back in 2008, when my wife Minnow and I started talking about traveling to some more exotic places in the world. I said I wanted to visit Bhutan. Minnow said, "What's a Bhutan?" Well, it's a very religious kingdom up in the Himalayas. It's a country that measures wealth by gross national happiness rather than gross domestic product. There's only one airline that flies into Bhutan, Druk Air, and from only 3 Asian cities, including Kathmandu in Nepal. Visiting Nepal sounded pretty exciting. And of course, once you've decided you're going to visit Nepal, you have to go visit Everest. So we decided to do the Everest Base Camp trek as part of our trip. Early in 2008, we were off. Both of us have traveled quite a bit before, however, always to developed countries, never to a developing country. It was eye-opening for us to see how people live there. Our hearts were broken when we saw the plight of porters carrying building materials and supplies for the tea houses that trekkers use and for the Everest Base Camp. How many 4x10s do you think you could carry on your back? 18, 20 maybe? That's what these porters are carrying. They come in all ages, from the very old to the very young. This brother and sister team were 12 and 13 years old, wearing flip-flops, if you can imagine. At this time, they were being paid $2 a day for days that they were carrying a load, expecting to get to base camp in 3 days. Hey, we took 9 days to get there, with no pay for the return journey and no pay for the days where there was nothing to haul. We felt we had to do something about this. When we got back, we decided that we should do a presentation about our trip and hold a fundraiser, inviting our friends to a Nepalese restaurant. We collected several $100s. Then what to do with the money? We found out that the International Porter Protection Agency has a Calgary branch, or a Canadian branch, run by Elsie James in High River, as it happens. We got in touch with her and off the money went. We had the bug. We knew we had to do more. Elsie was also active with Medical Mercy Canada. They do medical missions to various areas of the world, including Nepal. We decided to join a mission to Nepal in 2010. Neither of us are medical professionals. However, this is type of large expedition needs people to handle things like logistics on the ground. You know, when a doctor says, hey, I need 3 tables, you don't want the doctor going around chasing down 3 tables. Hey, I was gopher. That's right, a gopher. Minot, my wife, did group sessions with women about women's health issues. This mission was to a very remote part of Nepal, literally the end of the road. And here I use the term road very, very loosely. After that, it was foot tracks up into the higher foothills. Many of these patients had never seen a doctor in their life before, and many would never see another one. On our way back, we talked about our experience. It did good for the people that we treated and improved their health for at least a short bit of time. But was that really sustainable over the long run? We knew there had to be a better way to do things. Now, finally, the moment you've been waiting for. Here is where Rotary comes into the picture. In December 2010, Minot was invited to play Christmas carols at the Rotary Club of Calgary-Sarcee's Christmas meeting. She was invited by a person that she played with in the Calgary Civic Symphony for over 15 years, and he had never mentioned Rotary to her before. Isn't that a typical story? She came home from the meeting and exclaimed that it was like an adult play date that does good in the world. Well, we went to a few meetings, and early 2011, we both joined the club. Often what it takes is an invitation. Well, why do we stay in Rotary? For starters, our adult play dates now span the world, not just at one club with 20, 30, 50 people. It spans the world. We go to district conferences. We go to international conventions. As district governor-elect, district governor training with my peers, international assembly, Rotary friendship exchanges, and have gone abroad with Rotary fellowship events. And most importantly, it's the impact we now have in the world. Projects that we've been involved in have brought hope to more than 10,000 people, mainly women and children around the world. These projects have made lasting changes in their lives. In addition, there are the projects that we've been involved in and supported in our club, in our district, in our club roles and district roles, and these have involved countless individuals. Being in Rotary has made a huge impact on our own lives, given us a sense of purpose and fulfillment. It has brought us closer together as a couple. We have received way more than we have given. I would ask you that same question. Have you received more than you've given to Rotary? Why am I telling you this story? Well, stories are important to human beings. Telling positive stories brings hope into our own lives and into the lives of people that hear them. As I travel the district, I am going to ask each Rotarian that I speak to tell their stories to other Rotarians and to non-Rotarians alike. Today, I am asking each and every one of you to tell your Rotary stories to everyone that will listen. As I'm doing my own technical stuff here. So now comes the big reveal. I know it's not much of a secret. This year's Rotary International presidential theme is Create Hope in the World. And where does this start? It starts with our friends, our neighbors, ourselves, and fellow Rotarians. You're all familiar when you get on the plane, the safety instructions, the mask falls down from above. Make sure it's on yourself first before you go around and help others. That's why we need to start with ourselves. So we've all been through difficult and challenging times. We're all hurting in one way or another. Telling positive, hopeful stories is one way of creating hope within ourselves and within those that hear our stories. Creating hope within individuals helps with their mental health and well-being. Once we have hope, then we can go out and continue to do what we've always done as Rotarians, creating hope in the world. Every time we volunteer at a homeless shelter, we are creating hope. Every time that we support childhood literacy, we are creating hope in the parents that their children will have a better life than they had. Every time we hand out a scholarship, we create hope for a better future. Every time we travel down to Mexico with Homes for Hope, well, I guess the name says it all in that case. Every time we support an exchange student, participate in a friendship exchange, or take part in a Rotary International Fellowship event, we are creating the hope for a more peaceful world. Create hope in the world is the RI presidential theme this year. It is also the theme that I will use when I speak to Rotarians in clubs. It's also going to be next year's district conference theme. What else is in store for next year? Continuity. Since after the pandemic started, the district governor stream has been meeting by Zoom every 2 weeks. This gives the district governor, the district governor-elect, district governor nominee, and either the immediate past district governor or the district governor nominee designate the opportunity to share ideas, to talk about the successes and the challenges within our district. For me personally, this has been a tremendous opportunity to learn more about how the district operates and works. It's also been a great opportunity to help set the course of the district. And having helped to set that course, it's easy to continue on that course that I've been involved in setting. Without Zoom, this would have never happened. DG Steve is off in Raymond. Christina, District Governor nominee Christina, and myself are in Calgary. District Governor nominee designate Randy is up in Olds. We could have never met in person as often as we have been meeting on Zoom. These meetings are going to continue. What else is going to continue? Well, the 3 district-sponsored events, Move for Polio, Rotary Day of Service, and of course, the district conference. The DG stream has been looking on how we can streamline the communication to our members. This is going to continue. We will continue to support the district committees that are doing an amazing job. Membership in our district is growing at a rate that has not been seen for many years. The Foundation Committee is diligent in stewarding the Rotary Foundation funds in our care, providing more training than ever to clubs, and has just launched a new grant website. And I have to mention the Indigenous Committee and everything they are doing, including that the chair of the committee, Cam Stewart, is being honored by Rotary International with the People of Action Champion of Inclusion Award, one of 6 recipients in the world. Then there are the various youth services committee. Ryla, Rayak, Ripon, these camps are gearing up for the summer. Outbound youth exchange students have been selected to spend a year abroad. New Generation Service Committee has held virtual exchanges and is preparing for an in-person exchange. Join me in creating hope in the world.
Great, thanks, Kurt. Great presentation, very inspiring. It's a great theme for next year as well.
I personally really resonated with me personally.
I can tell. So with that, that wraps up the session today. Again, thanks everybody for taking the time out of their morning. Please enjoy the rest of the day. I hope you found obviously the collection of the 2 sessions very valuable. Some great tools to arm you for your next year. Again, please join us if you still would like to on the 25th for the in-person session, as much as some of the material may be the same. Obviously, there's so much more that can come from the fellowship and discussion from the in-person meetings. If you haven't registered yet, please just go on to the district website under the events calendar, and you can register to attend that session as well. So without further ado, that's it for today. Again, thanks everyone for taking the time. We really thank our friends from Vancouver and the district to the west of us for joining us as well, and hope they found the time valuable as well. So thanks everybody. Enjoy the rest of the day and keep on imagining Rotary.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rob. Thank you to all the presenters.
Thanks again. Bye-bye.